Well, I've got my passport and I got a new passport stamp. I am in the country of Panama, way down on the very bottom of Central America. In fact, back in the late 1800s, all the way up until 1904, Panama was part of Colombia. A lot of controversy about that in 1904. But let me just tell you something. I was coming into Panama today, and I got my passport stamped at the immigration at the airport. And after he stamped my passport, and by the way, it's a fairly new passport, even though it's got a lot of stamps already, he flips to some of the other pages of the passport, and I was like, what is he doing? And then he starts staring at this page of Mount Rushmore, and he's staring at it. He's looking at it for like 20-30 seconds. This is after I've already gave him all my paperwork, already you know, got my passport stamped. And then he looks a little closer at it, and he points to the image of Teddy Roosevelt, and he looks at me and he says, "Who is that?" And I looked at him and I said, "That's Teddy Roosevelt, the man who built the Panama Canal." And he said, "Okay, you're good to go." And he gave me my passport back and gave me a big smile. And I thought, wow, what an awesome entrance into Panama, because as you know, back in the early 1900s, under the direction of President Teddy Roosevelt, the United States completed this amazing project of the Panama Canal, which we're gonna see here on this trip, and I'm really excited for it. And so it was really cool that out of all the people that he probably could have said that to and looked at, why did he say that to me? That was so cool. So I really love when people appreciate history, particularly American history, and what American greatness has done abroad for other people. Beautiful skyline here in Panama City, Panama. Wow, really nice. On your visit to Panama, you definitely want to check out the Panama Canal Museum, which will tell you a little bit about the history of the building of the canal, which faced many challenges, the different people who worked on the canal, the different innovations they had to employ to make sure it was successful. And then you'll also from here get a live look at the control tower at the Miraflores locks. And if you're lucky and you're here on a day where ships are moving through, you'll get to see them both here on the screen and at the top of the museum.
Between the working chambers on the Panama Canal depends on the principle of gravity to move the water. Water comes through a system of main holes that extend under the rock chamber. Once the water levels between the first.
And this ship here at the top is going through a new set of locks that was part of the Panama Canal expansion project. It opened in 2016. The ships that go through the original locks are actually guided by these locomotives, so you'll start to see them move and help move the ship forward through the canal. In order for each ship to move through one of the locks, over 26 million gallons of water must move from a higher chamber to the lower one. And it's only then that the gates will open, allowing each ship to pass through.
Three steps down. So the
handrails are coming down. She is moving. The gates are fully open now. The ship is moving forward. The locomotives are really moving the ship now. Look at this baby move. Wow.
En su posición en el centro de la cámara. Remember, the locomotive don't pull the vessel, just hand the cable to keep the vessel in the middle of the finger.
That one's not being pushed by the motor. These are two couples on the side and one in back.
Oh yeah.
That set of valve operates on different bases. They don't use locomotive, they use couple.
Miren el movimiento detrás del barco. Ahí se observa cómo el barco se mueve con su propio motor.
This is my Amazon ship.
Eso es lo que estamos viendo detrás del barco. Ese movimiento es...
We are here at the Panama
Damas y
ship, which is just
caballeros,
moving right through, and it's amazing. Of course, this woman's talking over the loudspeakers.
A common phrase here is that the canal never stops. Over 40 ships pass through the Panama Canal each day, and they alternate directions as there's only enough room for one-way traffic. So some days they go from the Atlantic to the Pacific, and other days they go the opposite way. Each time a ship passes through the canal, a local Panamanian pilot must board the ship and guide it through the 8 to 10 hour journey from one side of the canal to the other.
Whatever he says has to be done.
If you're trying to drone your way through YouTube and the Panama Canal, it ain't happening.
After we witness the incredible effort it takes to bring one ship through the locks here on the Pacific side of the Panama Canal, there are always more ships waiting. The canal never stops. And we never stop either. Thank you to my local Panamanian friend Chris, who gave us an excellent tour of the Panama Canal and then took us on a little drive around the former American Canal Zone so we could see where many of the people who built this canal and helped protect it for decades later lived, worked, and served.
Drive through the R sign, then come back in.
These are all the old American buildings?
Yeah, these are all American buildings.
Okay, to all my FSU Seminole fans, I'm here in Panama on the FSU Panama Campus. Really beautiful. This is actually where Florida State University has its campus, and I just gotta say, all about the U, baby. All about the U. I can't do it with my fingers. Baseball stadium?
Yeah.
This is original?
Yeah, this is all, I mean, this haven't changed a bit.
Wow, look at that. Jarmont Field?
Yeah. I have there shows there very few.
Well, I'm here in Panama with my friend Marshall, and we are here. This is Marshall. What's behind us here?
This is Albrook Field, which was the main Air Force base here in Panama, in Panama City in World War II.
And who served here?
My grandfather was here at
Wow.
1945 to 1947, and doing reconnaissance on Japanese subs and making sure they didn't take over the canal.
That's amazing. So he was here in 1945 to 1947, and we just looked at a picture that you showed me, and this picture right here is actually the picture of where we are. You can see that mountain ridge right there behind Marshall's head, and that's Albrook Airfield, and it looks a little bit different. We got a shopping mall on the other side. Obviously, an amazing Panama City skyline behind that. And
Didn't exist at the time.
Yeah, which didn't exist, and of course behind us here, some of this did exist, but a lot of these homes have been remodeled now. These are where a lot of the men, including your grandfather and their families, lived for some time. So it was nice to see that we're here, and I'm sure your grandfather, rest in peace, is probably looking down. And actually, right as I was taking a picture of Marshall, maybe I'll show this picture here in the. There was actually a little small plane taking off, and I said, "Here comes your grandfather." So anyway, pretty cool. Maybe the spirit of Roger Swanson was with us.
Well, you never know, and I would like to think so, but there won't be any B-17s or B-24s landing here anytime soon, I don't think.
No, but what an awesome experience to be here with you in Panama City, Panama, and to see the American presence that was here during World War II.
Now we got to get it back.
We now shift from where the Americans lived in the American Canal Zone in Panama over to where they worked. But also, on our way there, we saw lots of rail cars and other infrastructure dedicated in and around the shipping industry here in the Panama Canal Zone.
That's the locks.
Oh, wow. Really? I can't remember what we were so excited about hearing, but our local friend Chris, who grew up here in the former American Canal Zone, was telling us lots of interesting insights about what went on then and what goes on now. This is the administration building for the Panama Canal, and for most of its history, the American flag flew there. But now, Panama has control of the canal. And that plane is landing at Albrook Airfield.
All right, I'm here at the administration building for the Panama Canal. As you can see, the Panamanian flag is flying high there. This administration building here was put here by the United States of America, and since the Panama Canal was developed in the early 1900s, all the way till America had control of this canal zone, it was the U.S. flag that was flying high there. And so this was, for most of its history, actually part of a United States American territory. We actually controlled this territory, but in 1999, we ceded the canal and the zone back to Panama. And actually it was from these steps up here where former President Jimmy Carter, who was the one that signed the agreement with Panama back in 1979, stood here in 1999 in a ceremony to give the Panamanians control back over this part of its territory, which it still has today in 2021. But really cool to see the history here, and so much infrastructure here built by the United States of America and the many taxpayers that came before us. So this is the other side of the administration building, where you could actually drive up to here, and can't park inside here, but and then you got a good look at the railway where all the cargo is, with the Panama Canal in the distance there. And then Albrook Airfield right there. And of course, like everywhere else in the world, including right in the middle of the Panama Canal administration zone, you have the Golden Arches to remind everyone that the United States may have ceded this territory, but the United States is still bringing the cheeseburgers. So this is the administration building on the left, another view of it, a side view, and out here you can see from up on this tall hill, they got a pretty good view of what's going on down there in the canal. Look at all this activity, and then you've got all this cargo, all the loads, and then right here you have the railway. So you've got the ships, everything on and off the railway, and then you've got McDonald's, of course, and the airfield. So by air, by rail, today, by car and transit, and by ship. And a lot to be administered here. Over 5,000 people lost their lives building the Panama Canal.
Most of the people who helped build the Panama Canal actually came from the nearby West Indies. However, thousands of Americans were also involved in building the canal, and many more thousands served here during the many decades, almost a whole century later. And we wanted to go pay tribute to them here at the U.S. cemetery, where many are lying in rest today.
This memorial has been erected by the United States of America in humble tribute to all who interned here, who served in its armed forces or contributed to the construction, operation, and security of the Panama Canal.
Exactly the same ship.
This is the ship we saw a few hours ago going through the lock. It's now heading into the Pacific Ocean. Very colorful ship. Hey, was that the one? That was the one that we saw, Marshall. The one. And we're driving on land that was created by the canal, or no?
Yes, sir. This was made out of the residues they took out of the digging of Gaylord Cod.
Amazing.